everyone and welcome back to my channel. So it's been a while since I did a sit-down video, but lately I have been getting a lot of messages about the uni I go to. People have been messaging me over on Instagram about this, so I thought I would just put my answer all into one video to make it easier if other people also have these questions. So today's video is basically about my experience at GCU, Glasgow Caledonian University. And for those who don't know, I am a student there who does international marketing. So that's basically my area, what I know. I'm just gonna hop right into it. And this is just based off of the questions that I've gotten on Instagram. So if you have more questions, leave them down below and I will try and answer as best as I can. So the first thing I will say about GCU is something I really like is how hands-on my course has been throughout. All of my courses have been very good in being more of a practical learning experience. So what I was afraid of was that I was gonna sit behind my desk every single day and just be bored to death and not find anything interesting rather than actually learn about something that I can then use for my future career. Luckily, when it comes to marketing, I feel like the uni has been very hands-on with this. So for example, we do a lot of presentations, we do a lot of group work, it's a lot of practical learning. So one of the questions that I keep getting over on Instagram is what kind of stuff we do in my course. So I thought I would go over what I've done this past year. Obviously this was year 2 and not year 1 because I felt like year 1, the courses were a bit less focused on marketing. They were a bit more wide just so that you could get a feel for marketing, but you also have like the basis of economics more so than anything. So we had courses like social science and trying to think of what we did in first year and I just can't remember it. Last year, meaning this previous year, year 2 of uni, I did courses called Consumer Buying Behavior, Essentials of Managing Human Resources, Society, Employability and Business, Marketing, Design and Creativity, and Brand Management, and lastly I did a course called Event Delivery and Management. So I thought I would go over what we did in a few of these courses, but not all of them because it'll take too long and it's just not that interesting. So the ones I'm not really going to be speaking about are Essentials of Managing Human Resources, which basically just teaches you about HR, and Society, Employability and Business, which basically is about how you as a person can become more employable. Although it was helpful, it wasn't really for my specific degree, so I'm gonna leave it out. One course that I really enjoyed doing was Consumer Buying Behavior. And as you can hear from the name, basically it's about the psychology of buying something. So whenever a new customer goes into a store, what do they look at? What do they feel? How do they base their purchase? Like what do they care about basically? So for that one, we did a group report. Told you it was a lot of group work. And this was basically, we had to purchase something from the same product class and then go through the psychological stages of buying that product. So basically the whole group bought something within the same category of things. So say like shoes, bags, jewelry, and like all different prices, all different things like that. And then we basically had to analyze that. And then we did a group presentation for that as well, which was about a company and basically the breakdown of who is this brand and what do clients think of when they think of it, pretty much. So that was Consumer Buying Behavior. Very interesting. As you can see, those were 2 group things. One of them was a presentation, one of them was a report, which is basically just an essay. Another course that was kind of different, which also I felt was really fun, was Marketing, Design and Creativity. That's the full name. So basically for this one, I'm laughing because I'm remembering how difficult yet fun it was to do this as a group. The final thing was basically a Dragon's Den or Shark Tank type presentation where we came up with a product or service and we presented it using Adobe InDesign, which is basically PowerPoint that is used in the industry of marketing a lot. So if you're designing a new product, you might use it to showcase what it would look like, for example. And this was really interesting because we had to actually come up with a product or service that could be feasible if we actually wanted to do it in real life. The whole setup was as though it was Dragon's Den or Shark Tank, and we went into it as the entrepreneurs. So that was actually really, really fun. It was a big project, definitely, but it was really fun. And again, that was a group presentation. So as you can see, there's a pattern of just group everything. So then another course that I had was brand management. And as you can also hear by the name, it's all about branding and how companies brand themselves, how clients and customers brand them, and how to figure all of that out. So basically what we did first was a group presentation on a company. We chose Absolute Vodka because that's fun. And basically you pick apart the company and you talk about how they brand themselves, and basically if it works for the consumers as well, because if the company's idea of branding isn't the same as the customers, it doesn't make any sense. And then the group report that we did, which then is an essay, was basically the presentation, but in an essay form. So we did Absolute Vodka again, but the difference was you add some information. The last course that I will be speaking about was event delivery and management. So this course was there actually is a whole degree that you can do at GCU, which is event based, and it seems really, really fun. I have a few friends doing that, and they were kind of used to doing stuff like this, and we were not. So it was really funny how it all came together, but pretty much what we had to do was come up with an idea for an event. And our first presentation we did, so this was in a group setting again, so we had a group presentation basically about what the idea of what we wanted to do was. Once you got the go ahead and the okay from that, you then went on to make a group event plan, which is like a report that goes through step by step what your event is, how you're gonna do different things. It's like everything from the budget to what's gonna happen on the day of the event, what's the schedule like, when are you gonna set up everything, who's gonna set up everything, stuff like that. And then the plan was to actually put on the event, but because of COVID, obviously all the events were stopped from happening because it wasn't safe. And what happened instead was that the last part of the course, which was an individual essay, basically had a bit more, it weighed a bit more in the overall grade that you would get for the whole course. So those are some examples of different projects that we had in the different courses. I feel like they're all really good. They were very hands-on. We had people from the industry come in as well, so industry specialists come and talk to us during lectures, which I really liked. We did a lot of presentations, a lot of group work. Almost everything was group based. We did a lot of practical learning. So for example, with the events, we set up an actual event as though it was gonna happen. Overall, I think GCU does a really good job of not making it like very monotone and boring. Now I can't speak for what other unis do, but I feel like from my point of view, I feel like GCU does it well. Okay, so one thing I think a lot of GCU students can agree with me on, and it's not to bash them or anything, but the organizational skills are not the best. I would say it's not for lack of trying, it's not great. So for example, I was trying to find out what happened to a transcript that I had paid for and ordered, and I had to email about 5 or 7 different emails before I actually found the correct one and could email them and get help, which was just really frustrating. At the same time, it can like take a while for some results to come back, and scheduling can be a little bit chaotic as well. So for example, if there are changes to the time slot or changes to what room you're supposed to be in, or your schedule in some way kind of changes, it can take a while for it to catch up and be on the right page. A lot of students say that when you ask them about GCU, they're like, oh yeah, I love it, it's so great, except organizational skills are not on point. However, there is a lot of help being offered, but other than organizationally, I think they're quite good. Like, something they're really good at is the social stuff, I would say. So each year, for example, the uni puts on a fair amount of things going on and happening for their students. So for example, you have the Freshers Fair, which if you have no clue what that is, it's like a big welcome fair at the beginning of the year. But if you want to see what Freshers Week usually looks like, you can go watch that video over on my channel. I have a vlog from, I think it was first year's Freshers Fair, and it's just called Freshers Week vlog or something like that. But yeah, it's really fun. They're also very good at bringing in guest speakers, both outside of uni hours and into like lectures and during uni hours. During stressful times at uni, the uni recognizes that it is a stressful time and they'll bring in fun stuff. For example, they brought in dogs a few times this past year during like exam times and stuff, so that you can book a slot to go and legit pet like 4 different dogs, and you can kind of calm down and not really think about all the stress of uni. And they have done the same thing with like alpacas or llamas. I really don't know the difference. If anybody knows, leave a comment down below. But they did something like that. They've brought in just like random animals because I don't know, it just lightens the mood a lot. And they do stuff like that, or they'll do like fun catering options coming into the school and setting up like a stall, so that that day you can go and have like pancakes or pizza or whatever, and you can buy it from that stall, which is fun. So they do put on stuff like that, which is really fun. Socially, I would say GCU is really good because they put on stuff like this, but obviously it also depends on yourself and how social you want to be. It's really up to you. If you try to, it's easy to make friends. So one thing that goes hand in hand with that are the societies at the uni. So what I did before I even went to the uni was I checked all of the different societies that were listed on the website and chose a few that I'd be interested in going and checking out at the Freshers Fair. So that's something you can do, definitely. And there's a lot of different good societies. There's almost something for every single person out there. And if there isn't, it's really easy to start your own one. For example, a few friends of mine started the Nordic Society last spring, which I have now become a part of. So there's societies like that. There's societies based on hobbies. There's societies based on sports. For example, I'm in snow sports, which is so much fun. And different societies are obviously more or less good at the social aspects. So I would say like snow sports throw amazing, I don't want to say parties because it sounds weird, but basically parties. You just all get together, you all have the same interests, so it's easy to like talk to people about that and stuff like that. So yeah, so if you're nervous about the social aspect, I wouldn't be. As long as you try to integrate yourself into the school by joining like a society that you think could be interesting or stuff like that, it'll be fine. And lastly, I will say that socially it does matter where you live. Where you live will make it more or less hard for you to make friends, pretty much. So if you want a full video on the living situation and me explaining the different places I've lived and explaining the different places that other, like my friends have lived, and kind of go over the social aspect and all the aspects of living there, I can. Leave a comment down below if you want to see that. For example, if you live at Cali Court is a good place to live for the social aspect of it. Buchanan View is pretty good as well. I would say, as someone who's lived at Dobby's Point personally, I wouldn't live there for first year because it's a little bit fancy. If you want to make friends, I would suggest some more socially active places to live. But as I said, if you want a whole video on that, I can do it. Just leave it in the comments below and I'll get onto that. But yeah, I think that's pretty much what I wanted to discuss today. I know it's probably a longer video, but I really hope you enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye guys!